Welcome back to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to walk through this fascinating and frankly vital information with you today. We're exploring a pretty heartbreaking premise. What if the modern conveniences we provide out of pure love are actually silently harming our cats? We think we're creating the perfect, safe little environment for them, but we might be completely misinterpreting what our cats actually need to thrive. Okay, let's dive into this, and we're starting with perhaps the single most universally accepted habit in all of cat ownership, leaving out a full bowl of dry food. I mean, it's cheap, it's super easy, and it really feels like we're doing a great job keeping our pets fed. But what if this one simple habit is the most terrifying invisible danger in your home? What if that bowl of dry kibble is quietly causing long-term, irreversible damage that you literally can't even see yet? Section 1. The dry food danger. To really understand why an exclusive dry food diet is so incredibly dangerous, we have to look at who your cat naturally is. Biologically speaking, their wild ancestors were desert animals, right? They evolved to get almost all of their vital hydration directly from the prey they hunted. They just aren't wired to seek out a water bowl. But standard dry kibble? It contains only about 10% moisture. 10%! Because of this massive deficit, a cat fed exclusively dry food is essentially forced to live in a state of chronic, low-level dehydration every single day. They simply aren't drinking enough from the water bowl to make up for the lack of moisture in their food, and that puts an unbelievable amount of pressure on their vital organs.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast here. The desert ancestor thrived on a completely moisture-rich diet. But our modern cats, we give them bone-dry kibble, and we kind of just expect them to magically overcome millions of years of evolutionary programming and chug water from a bowl. And, well, they simply don't do it.
The science on this is absolutely clear. Research from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery shows that this chronic dehydration leads directly to highly concentrated urine. This creates the perfect storm for painful urinary crystals to form, and it significantly increases the risk of severe kidney disease. And honestly, the most heartbreaking part of all of this? Cats are total masters at hiding pain. They suffer silently. So by the time you actually notice the outward symptoms of kidney disease, that damage has often been quietly building up for years. Adding wet food to their diet is genuinely one of the easiest ways to literally add years to your cat's life. Section 2. Physical toxins hiding in plain sight. Now, moving out of the kitchen, kibble isn't the only hidden physical danger lurking around. There are chemicals and plants all over our homes that cats just cannot process. According to the Pet Poison Helpline, things like true lilies are incredibly deadly. Even a tiny sip of vase water or a single dusting of pollen causes irreversible kidney failure. Human medications like Tylenol and ibuprofen, those can cause fatal anemia, liver failure, and severe stomach ulcers. Got a dog? A lot of dog flea meds contain permethrin, which causes severe neurological poisoning in cats. And those amazing smelling essential oils, like tea tree oil or liquid potpourri, can actually cause chemical burns, hypothermia, and serious liver injury. They are just so highly sensitive to the things we use every single day. So, the crucial point is this. If your cat ever does get into something toxic, never ever try a DIY home remedy. Absolutely never use hydrogen peroxide to try and make a cat throw up. While this is sometimes done for dogs, in cats it causes severe blistering injuries to their mouth, throat, and stomach. Always, always contact a vet or a pet poison helpline immediately so they can safely administer a prescription-based treatment. Section 3. Psychological toxins. The problem with punishment. Okay, we've covered physical poisons, but here's the thing. Our own behavior can be just as toxic. Think about the last time you yelled at your cat for scratching the couch or maybe knocking a glass off the table. It feels totally natural to discipline them, right? But do cats understand cause and effect? No, not at all. They do not process discipline like humans or even dogs do. When you yell, they don't connect your anger to their action of scratching the couch. They only connect the anger directly to you. You aren't teaching them a lesson. You are just teaching them that you are unpredictable and unsafe to be around. And this fear, it has a devastating physical toll. Psychological stress doesn't just make a cat moody. It quite literally makes them physically ill. It can cause them to overgroom to the point of creating bald patches and infected skin lesions. Even worse, stress is a primary trigger for feline idiopathic cystitis. This is a highly painful condition where the bladder becomes inflamed, causing the cat to strain to pee or even pass blood. And it's all triggered directly by environmental anxiety and fear. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it challenges our entire idea of affection. Notice the massive cortisol spike in that first paw. A veterinary study actually found that cats who were frequently picked up without warning by their owners had significantly higher stress hormones than those whose owners just waited for the cat to initiate contact.
Being lifted off the ground triggers a deep survival response. Every single time you scoop them up for a forced cuddle, their body is going into high alert.
And while we're on the topic of how we use our hands, please remember this. Hands are not toys. Wiggling your fingers to make a kitten playfully attack you might be cute today, but you are hardwiring a permanent hunting response toward human skin. This leads to persistent, aggressive biting right into adulthood. The simple fix: always use a wand toy. Put a healthy distance between your skin and their teeth and let them practice those natural hunting instincts safely.
Section 4. Hidden stress triggers.
Sometimes the physical spaces we create in our homes are secretly making our cats miserable. Take the litter box, for example. We usually tuck them away in a dark basement, a noisy laundry room, or some tiny closet, mostly because we just don't want to look at them. But going to the bathroom is the single most vulnerable position a cat can be in. If you put that box in a tucked away, dead-end space with loud appliances and only one way out, their survival instincts are screaming at them that they are trapped. This immense anxiety is a massive driver behind cats refusing to use the box and toileting inappropriately around the house. Let's move to and see how this builds into a really tragic behavioral domino effect. Step 1. A cat is left in a perfectly clean but silent and empty room while you're at work. Step 2. This lack of environmental enrichment causes severe understimulation and intense boredom. Step 3. Their pent-up energy causes them to act out with sudden aggression or destructive scratching. Step 4. The owner gets frustrated and yells. This causes immense stress, which drives the cat right back to acting out. The environment itself is creating this continuous loop of anxiety. Section 5. Creating a safe and empowering environment. The truly fantastic news here is that we can break this cycle today with just a few immediate changes. First up, add wet food to their daily diet. We have to get that vital moisture into their system to protect those kidneys. Second, practice some patience and let your cat initiate physical contact. Just let them come to you. Third, pull those litter boxes out of the dark corners and move them into low-traffic, visible areas that have at least 2 clear exit paths. And finally, sweep your house for those hidden physical toxins. Get rid of any lilies and secure all human medications. Next, let's stimulate their brains with some highly effective psychological fixes. You really don't have to turn your living room into a jungle, but try adding vertical shelves or window perches so they can confidently observe their territory. Leave out puzzle feeders, or honestly, even just a simple paper bag for them to explore. Play nature sounds or a video of birds when you leave the house to make the environment actually feel alive. And remember, completely ignore the bad behavior and generously reward the good behavior with treats. This positive reinforcement is what ultimately rebuilds their trust in you. We've covered a ton of ground in this explainer today, from the terrifying truth about dry food and chronic dehydration to the hidden stressors in our very own behavior. I want to leave you with this provocative question to really think about. What is one invisible danger you can remove from your cat's life today? Whether it's adding a spoonful of wet food, throwing out an essential oil plug-in, or just putting down the wand toy instead of using your hands, you have the power to make your cat's world safer, healthier, and happier right now. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this, and I'll catch you next time.